official start of part 4 while the credits like open up. Oh, here's one thing I was thinking about with a couple different things that I could do with this room when I like do the remodel, or not remodel, but reorganizing. Over here off camera, I have a little stand that has a radio on it and my dad's urn and like CDs and stuff. I was gonna move that behind me where my plushies are sitting. I was either gonna move that bench over here, like switch their spots, or move the bench down if I have enough room, and then do like a little like chair and table or something in this corner or by the window, so then I can like just like sit, have a little like reading spot or something. I also want to like put a tree up in this section for when it gets to like holidays. Alright, so we are on our way to the 6th gym. We have our whole team, water only, all our dual types, water steel, water normal, water fairy, water flying. Okay, this one's the only pure water. And then water ground. If I do come across a shiny or an ice type I really like, I'll switch it, because ice is basically just solid water. So I forgot I had a repel. I'm gonna try to battle as many trainers as I can. I don't know if I'm gonna grind the rest of this out in one stream. It'll still probably be multiple YouTube videos. And I also don't know, because I think I have like one other day planned at least. Maybe 2 for this. I also don't know if I want to do the post-game stuff or not. Because I'm mainly just focused on, can I like beat the Elite Four with like a mono type, or the water types. I also kind of want to, because if I do, I don't know if I'll do another mono type challenge in Sinnoh. Sometimes there are possibilities we could do. I also might just like keep this, and then like, if I do another mono type challenge, I'm gonna like store these and these Pokemon in Pokemon Home and then put them back, or I don't know. Not completely sure. I know the only game I for sure that we will do multiple mono type challenges in the same game is Violet, because I have at least 3 mono type challenges that I can. Oh. Technically there's like 6 if I stick with having the starters, because their main type and their secondary type, so each starter can do like 2 different ones. And I can just like transfer the Pokemon to home. And then I was thinking about using Scarlet as like the Pokemon storage for Violet when we do the mono type challenges. So then, because I can just put them back into home and, you know, use that for like exclusive not region exclusives, like version exclusives, and that. And I've been having fun with playing Scarlet again. I think the only time I played it was on stream, but I've played Violet for myself multiple times. And I gotta say, I like Violet more for the pure reason of that one has like the more futuristic aspect, so like Koraidon I think looks a lot cooler, and just the color wise I like purple way more than I like red. Which is why I chose Violet when it like, originally came out. Oh yes, Swords Dance! Because you are a physical attacker. And tackle is our only physical move because of stab. I'm not getting rid of stealth rocks, and Thunderbolt helps us. If do we want to keep Thunderbolt? I mean, Thunderbolt does come across helpful when we're facing other water types, but I really want to use Swords Dance. 95. Because if it only does regular attack, and if I get rid of that, and like say I switched it with tackle, it doesn't really help because this is special. This is special. I could still get rid of Thunderbolt. Oh, what to do? I feel like get rid of Thunderbolt. Ah. I mean, I don't care about the contest, but still. I'm gonna get rid of Thunderbolt. We'll have stab and I think we can teach a Thunderbolt to somebody else. Is this so loud? I feel like that's kind of loud. Okay. I should be faster because your speed went down and I went first. If we also get an ice type, we would be immune to the hail, I believe. Just like rock types and ground types don't get affected by the sandstorms. That is honestly kind of surprising. 4,480. I'm gonna heal because I know we have a bit to go. Capable of beating you in a battle, does that count? These are ice, dark type. Dark is weak against fairy, ice is weak against fire. I don't think you're weak against water, if I'm still gonna use it. Ice weak against water? Because if so, we have a real easy time with the next game. The fact that I should know this because I've been playing Pokemon since Gen 1. I see wind. Got up early, like half an hour before my alarm this morning. And Then I worked today, but I mean, I got out of work early. I almost didn't because they do it like how you get out based on like sales. If it's too like so much lower, then you send somebody home early. And they weren't gonna check, and I'm like, well, what do the sales look like? It feels kind of boring. We were decently under, so I got home. Sat home a half an hour early. But then I went to the grocery store to get some stuff because on Tuesday after work I want to make burgers and brats on my grill. So I've only used my grill once, and I don't work, and I work tomorrow on Memorial Day. Otherwise, I would do it tomorrow. Or tomorrow, you can't see it because the box is like just off screen. I just got a new like weed whacker, and I haven't like unboxed it yet. I'm gonna use tomorrow to cut my grass after work because it's also has like different like heads I can switch out to do actual lawnmower or just cut grass or cut like branches that's on the ground. I'm gonna do that tomorrow after work. Tuesday after work, I'm gonna grill out, and I have stuff to make probably the best badass burger. The best burgers. Like, one of the burgers I want to make is I want to maybe do like sauteed onions with mushrooms and like provolone cheese and like delicious. I also want to do like how Culver's, or that's the only place I can think about comparing it to because I don't think anywhere else in my town has like really good burgers like that. I do like mayo and lettuce, tomato, maybe not onion, pickles, like maybe bacon. I just have to get some bacon from work because I did not want to pay for bacon at the grocery store. And like do like really nice burgers. I also want to do like a basic cheeseburger or like double cheeseburger. I also like I have brats, so then I could do like I don't know. I was gonna get like fancy like hard roll buns, which I think is just like a Wisconsin thing. But I just got some sesame seed buns instead because I feel like those are better than like the plain old like generic hamburger buns. And I just feel like I could go all out. I just want to see if I can get a place to, and then get. Like, I also like I want to do might have to stop at the Dollar Tree or somewhere if they're open tomorrow and get like extra containers to put some food in. Like when I'm cooking, do like the brats in one thing, hamburgers in another. I have a table I want to set out while I'm grilling out and just like kind of like use that. And I don't know if well not tomorrow, Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to like I want to listen to something while I'm cooking. I don't know if I want to listen to an audiobook because I didn't get to listen to it today because I forgot my different earbuds at home. They were charging, so I didn't get to listen to my audiobook before or at work today. And like I could listen to that. I could listen to music. I could maybe have my tablet or something set up and play something on YouTube. Or I don't know what yet. Probably like, maybe do music. We'll see how for a second I thought that was shiny. I'm pretty sure that's not a shiny. I'm gonna switch to Dean because Dean has the resistance to electric. I'm not too worried about our final gem. As long as Dean survives, I'll be kind of with it. Called it! Okay. And I'll probably listen to music. It depends on like, oh wait, I need to check to see like what the weather looks like. So I know like today or at least tomorrow is supposed to be 70s. It's fall tonight. Oh, 60s tonight. Tuesday 79. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Get into water. Wednesday, I was thinking about. I thought I had a stream planned, and I looked to like change the time of it. Turns out I didn't. So I'm gonna keep it no plan to stream. I might end up streaming a little bit. I'm not sure yet. And I don't know what I would if I do. And does that mean for right now, I plan on just. Right now, I just plan on maybe like going to the library, maybe working on some writing or something on my tablet. I'm thinking about more like writing than on my and then have my tablet play some stuff. If you know what I'm talking about, I do have to look it up so I don't forget. This is still sort of on topic. I have been rereading some like roleplay topics. Yeah. Where one of them specifically is on, a bunch of them are on the TV show called Lyoko, which was in France. I think it was only on for like from like 2005 to like 2009. I know it's like 2005 or like maybe 2003 to 2008, something like that. Then they had one season live action like a few years back. And I love that show. I have like different like alternate universe like ideas for it. One of them that I want to actually do a story on is if I'm just gonna end up talking about fan fiction, my story ideas now. Is instead of like Xana being a computer virus, which is the villain of the show, is instead of like doing just like pure like science and like normal stuff, I was thinking about adding in some magical elements and doing like a magic. I was calling it like a temporary like title, Magical Lyoko, instead of Code Lyoko, where like, instead of a computer virus, Xana is like an evil sorcerer guy or girl. I haven't really decided, or like gender fluid like villain or something. And I was thinking about like the characters of the main group: Jeremy, Ad, Ulrich, Yumi. Or at least like the main, and Alita. Like the core five would be supernatural. Well, I don't plan on Ad being supernatural. I don't really see Jeremy being one either. But and this is like all this stuff is kind of like based around the fanfics that I've done, or the roleplay topics I've done. Where then Ulrich would be like a werewolf. Yumi would be a vampire. I don't know what William would be yet. I don't think we really got that far in the topics. Alita would be in like an elf. Xana's sorceress or sorcerer or whatever, some sort of like wizard, magic wielding thing. And I'm like looking at this part. I was going. I don't know what time I did this, but I was going through like the summary of like episode 0, which is like the prequel, but like the stuff that happened before like the first episode like sets up like the show. And I was going along like in magical version, making it magical. And like I don't know, like I want to do like actual like storyline, like dialogue and everything, but it's like pretty much just like summary stuff, and I only did the first episode apparently. Because part 2 is like just says the next day. It has nothing. Like, I want to like like, I want to like actually make that into a story, but I'm not sure yet. And there's so many things you could do. Like, I could like magicalize. I'm making that a word now. Making like all the other students like magical, and like give them. I don't know what Sissy would be. I was thinking like Herb or Nicholas, which are kind of like her followers. Maybe one of them being some sort of like lizard creature, or like a chameleon. I don't know. And like do like different like different species based on like their personality, maybe. Not completely like sure, because I never really thought that far ahead. And I feel like the I don't know if everybody at the school would be aware of supernatural creatures, or if it would just be like certain students, teachers, like staff. That's something like I feel like maybe everybody would know, like turn it into like something like that. I never really thought about too far ahead for that. There's a different story I wanted to do, not for Koldioko. It would combine two of my favorite fandoms, Lab Rats and Avengers. Like, I've only ever done this idea in roleplay topics, but it would be like what. Oh, and I was thinking about this earlier. Is like, what if the two like richest people in the world were friends, or like best friends? That would be Tony Stark and Donald Davenport. Tony, obviously from Avengers, and Donald is like one of like the main characters from Lab Rats, who's like insanely rich in that show. And I was thinking, because I would have to do the backstory. Well, for you guys to get the idea, is Tony Stark found out he had a kid and wasn't ready for children, so he talked to Donald, because I feel like they would be around the same age around this time, and Donald agreed to take care of his kid, which would end up being a girl. I was naming her Jessica. I feel like Tony might have named her Jessica. So Donald's raising Jessica, and I feel like even though Tony hasn't raised her, that Donald would still like send pictures and keep him up to date, like what Jessica has been doing as she's grown up. So in a way, Tony still feels like he's a part of her life. And then fast forward a bunch of years to during final season of Lab Rats. I don't remember what year that was. I want to say like 2014-ish. Around the time Age of Ultron, I think, came out. And so Jessica, I feel like at this point knows she's adopted, doesn't care because she sees Donald as a dad. He treats her as, like, they still treat each other like family. She would be dating Leo. Knows, obviously, would know about bionics. She would be living on the island with everybody else. I feel like even though she would want to be bionic and help on missions, that Donald would absolutely just refuse, do not give her bionics, because technically that's not his kid. I mean, biologically not his kid, but as far as they're both concerned, that's still his kid. Or Jessica's still his kid. And Jessica would have like her own like, well, since she's not bionic, she wouldn't be officially like having her own like group of students to teach. But she would have her own little classroom and mainly teach. I feel like she would do like tech stuff or like hand-to-hand or strategic stuff of like people from all of her like siblings group students like combined like as sort of like an elective class. She would also have her own little like laboratory where she's working on her own Iron Man, or Iron Maiden, I think I ended up calling it. And she doesn't, at this point, she doesn't know she's related to Tony Stark yet. She is using his suit. Like she has like schematics and stuff, where she's taking inspiration to build her own suit. She doesn't want Donald to help her because his, I call it the Davenport Eagle, would get in the way, and he would just try to like take over and attach his name to it and like everything like that. And so she's like doing her own suit because she wants to be part of missions. I feel like she's done other like bionic tech stuff, like bionic contact lenses and stuff. Because I've always seen her wearing glasses because her eyesight is bad. And around this time, she's not finished with the suit yet. Donald has talked to, and this is like just before her 18th or 19th birthday. I want to say before her 19th birthday. And Tony and Donald were talking, and Donald invited Tony and the OG Avengers. So Clint, Tony, Natasha, Steve, maybe Thor, Bruce, all of them to come to the Bionic Island for at least a week to help teach or be inspiration to the Bionic students on the island. Where, and I feel like this is like a way for Donald to get Tony to meet his daughter, and like for them to like finally meet, considering Tony's suit is inspiration for Jessica's own suit. And I never really got too far into the idea other than Jessica going on a mission, maybe twisting her ankle, and her having like a birthday, or like a birthday party where Tony is invited. I don't know if the other adventures would be. I feel like that would be less weird if they were. And I don't know how Jessica would find out Tony is her biological father. I know I wanted... Part of me wanted Jessica to go with the Avengers and help with the Age of Ultron events. But like talking about it out loud, I don't want her to really leave the island because then that would mean like she doesn't want to leave like what she knows. I don't know, haven't really thought that far ahead outside of topics, world-building topics. Like some of the ideas that I had that I kind of want to do, just don't. I'm more worried about messing. I don't know if I'd really be worried about messing up the personalities of the characters, since I have done multiple fanfics since 2011, so 15 years at least of fanfics. But I also stopped writing a bunch of them because nobody would give any sort of feedback other than, hey, I'm an artist, all that stuff. Some of them I do like. I mean, out of those two ideas, I think I'd probably do more of the Cordiopo one because there's more things I could do without entirely messing up canon. It's more like an alternate universe thing. It's something I was thinking about. And I mean, I also came up before it was actually canon. I had this idea where a character named Maria would be in Lab Rats. It would be Horace's daughter from Mighty Med, and neither one of them knew about like the other. And then Maria would move to, I think it's Pennsylvania, where Mighty Med takes place, and like go there and eventually meet her dad. And I think I had that planned before they actually announced that that was a canon thing, that those were in the same universe. And so I do actually have a story on her. I just haven't updated it in a while because most of the chapters were like original chapters, and I was doing ones like on actual episodes of the Mighty Med or Lab Rats, her events on there came first. I'm doing that. And then when I write, I get distracted, and then I don't focus too much on the streaming stuff. And I might still do some writing on Wednesday because I haven't done that in a hot minute. And I don't know if I'll like make it a day where I go to this one place and actually like have breakfast and then go to the library. At the same time, I just like might make food at home because I'll have like the bacon and everything to do like a proper at-home breakfast. Instead of just like, grilling up some eggs, put it on a toast and cheese and boom. I also would have like brats left over, brats and hamburgers, so I could do like a hamburger, warm up a hamburger, put an egg on top, and do something fancy. The library is like not even like 5 minutes from my house. Only like about a 5-minute walk from my house. If I go cut through 2 parking lots instead of just going around. I was thinking about that. And I do have like a separate like pair of like headphones for like walks and stuff. And since it's gonna be nice, I could also be, I don't know if I would do it because there would be a lot of heat on the laptop, but keep the table that I have for like outside, set that up and just make like an outdoor desk. You just sit outside all day. I don't know yet. I feel like more going like for the walk, like going to the library where it's quiet, less distractions. So just bring my other laptop, which I use specifically for like writing and like videos. Like this laptop that I have, like the capture card stuff is off of. Used to be like my everything computer. I would do writing, editing, and by editing I mean like cutting videos in half, games. Like everything. And now it's essentially just like gaming and like multitasking off stream. So like if I am playing a game, like my game would be up on the monitor and then whatever video YouTube or otherwise like I'm watching is on the other the laptop. Because then I can just like switch my eyes instead of just like moving my head or like, whatever. I don't think this ever also like never leaves the desk. I will have to like think about when I do the redecorating of this room. What was it? This came above the house. And wait, sorry. When I do like the remodel, I will have to move. Redecorating. I will have to move the desk away from the wall because I want to move that light on this wall and then have different lights or like shelves back there, and that way those shelves can like display my Nintendo systems that are like behind, like back here, like the Game Boy Advance and stuff, and maybe the occasional like Funko Pop. I could like switch out from like what's back here, like just off camera. Alternate that, and maybe I could display my Eevee plushies. Sorry, because I've been like really kind of leaning into like the Eeveelutions. So, or maybe like the starter. Oh, I need a Sprigatito. No, I'm looking at them. I have Taxi and Koi Coco. I don't have Sprigatito. But I think I'd rather have the Eevee plushies out. So I have Vaporeon, Sylveon, Umbreon. I have a shiny Glaceon. I probably have some more I just can't see. I have a Mimikyu, Diglett, Vulpix, Bulbasaur. I have like a bunch of Pokemon plushies over here. And then I also have, I wanted to do the Eeveelutions as Funko Pops. Maybe do like the Eeveelution and the Funko Pop. That'd be pretty interesting to do like background. And do it like maybe like right next to like over this. Instead of having that. That picture has all the Eeveelutions on it already. You just do like a whole Eevee line back there. And then it would be called an Eevee line. And then maybe do like the games below it. I don't know yet. So now I would have to buy the shells. I'm already gonna do early super early, like, or shopping, maybe doing a shopping trip in July. And I've already gotten 2 Christmas gifts for somebody. And it's only May. Well, June when this goes up on YouTube. And like, I'm just buying the new Weed Whacker. It's I'm sorry. I'm trying not to like spend too much. I might also just ask somebody to give me money for like Christmas gifts or whatever when it gets to closer to that point, so I can use it for shelves and stuff back here. So I want to update like what you guys see. Like the newest thing I think for the streams has, besides like that's like not game wise, is probably the light that I have right here, or like right up here. I think that's probably like, yeah, the newest thing I have like hardware wise, or like actual like item wise. Because these I got myself in like December, November. My laptop I've had for like 4 years now. Monitor I got last year, but I didn't get that light until like 2 months ago. Or roughly. Sometimes it falls down, but... And then I just blew it back up. I also might just like somehow like... I don't know how that gets itself off either. And I never noticed it falls off until I try to turn on the light, and it's like, why isn't it light? And then I look and it's on the ground. It's like, I could try to sand it somehow, but I don't have a table to put the tripod on. So it's just kind of like on the wall. And I don't want to glue it on the wall because if I want to move my whole setup to a different part of the room, it won't make sense. Although this is probably the easiest spot in the room to have my setup because of how I have my PlayStation, or like my TV is like on the other side of this wall, and or one of my TVs I should say, because I have a TV in my room too. When I want to play one of my PlayStation or my Switch on the TV, I just have to switch the cord from the capture card to the TV, and it's like right there. So it's a lot more convenient for me to keep my setup like this, like outside of streams. Plus, this way you don't see my living room. You don't have to see this closet that has been opened, and I need to clean stuff in it out. I like this setup too better, because then I have that whole wall to put stuff on and display for you guys and for myself. And I just thought, if you could see this room before I did the remodel, which I think you kind of can. I don't know if I still have, like, VODs I have showed this room before. Or, like, I started to, like, do the actual, like, remodel. Or not remodel, like, redecorating, whatever. And I know at one point I did have, like, a fake wall behind, like, here, because I didn't want to show, like, the mess that was still left from, like, my dad's stuff. I think I had that taken down before I, like, officially, like, started taking down, like, all the wallpaper and shit that was on the walls and clearing out, like, if you could see this, like, this side of the room, it's still a lot better than how it was before I actually change it up to be an actual streaming room. Actually, no, that just gave me nicotine. I wouldn't do it either, but put a mini fridge. My refrigerator is just like on the other side of this wall. That's where my kitchen is. So like I don't have that far to go if I want something to drink. I do have to like clean out. Like, I feel like I want to clean out like this whole area, like when I do the remodel. But also, just want to make it neater so I can like do more stuff and like display more. Only thing is like if I do, I'm kind of like stuck to the idea of moving this stereo stand back here and then moving the other thing down. I don't know if I want to have my dad's urn like shown on stream. That's where it is right now, and I don't really. I mean, I do have like one other place I could put it, but that's like it could fall down. And I do not want that to happen. I also might just like keep it back there because it's not like you'll always see it because it could be like behind the chair and be like he's watching me play games. I could. That's like something I haven't really fully decided like where I would put him. Probably like figure that out eventually. I feel like I could put him on there because it's like something that shows like not necessarily like who I am, but like my family. He would buy me Pokemon stuff, so like if it wasn't for him putting up with me after my mom passed away and not saying I had to grow out of video games, like, cause I don't think he cared that I still played video games. Like, I might, you know, like, he bought me games, like, he knew much the games were to me. Like, he even helped buy my Nintendo Wii when I had it. It was back when it was like new and it was like $300. If only his system was $300 now. New now. But I put 100 towards it. My stepmom put 100 towards it, and my dad put 100 towards it. So we all like paid part of it. And I think they also paid for like 2 games because I think at the time GameStop had I think it was buy 2 get 1 free. They always start charging you for the 2 most expensive and then give you the cheaper one. I would always go there a lot. You watch me play video games sometimes. I tried to get him into them. He didn't really. His Father's Day is like 21st next month. I think I had where I was playing Cobble. Am I 21st? It's 4 days away from season 2, The Last Airbender on Netflix. I have a lot of stuff to watch before then. I'm like I feel like if I just keep my train of thought going and just like go between topics and all that, then gives you guys something to listen to and not just the quietness. Because when I thought about just now with having other stuff to watch, I finished watching Moana and Kanto and Coco. And Coco, I blubbered like a baby at the end of that. I think for the main reason of because Coco, and I'm gonna ruin it, but for people who haven't seen it, mainly because of Coco and her almost forgetting her dad and being able to reunite with him. That got my heart because it's how I like, you know, like wish like I don't know, that made me feel like I don't know, I'm not gonna feeling how much I'm about to cry if I talk about it, I'm not gonna talk about it. I can already feel like the tears in my eyes. But or maybe I can try, but having like what Coco's dad and like the afterlife just, you know, wanted to at least see his daughter one more time and like was basically like wanting to, well, not necessarily him, but like his daughter like almost forgetting him and like in that show, like, or movie, if someone in the real world forgets you or there's nobody left to remember you, you essentially like fade away. And it made me think about how many people like I know like on the other side. So I do believe that either like not necessarily like heaven and hell, but like I know my dad probably did because he did go to church. I don't want to go there, but like I know my dad is watching me somehow. And I don't know, maybe my mom is too, my stepmom. But like I was always thinking about that when I was watching the movie, and that made me cry because like what is like is my dad like watching me while like wanting to reunite with me, and then like I would like to like, at least see him like one more time, and it just made me cry like a baby hearing that. So like I didn't and like I just was like blubbering like a baby at the end of Coco. Encanto and Moana I didn't cry at, but it was still, they were still good movies. And I like watching other self-annoying, well, that, and then because those were all like movie recommendations from my coworkers, and I think there was a Pinocchio movie that I'm supposed to watch, or they didn't like recommend it to me directly. Oh, this way. But they were talking about it at work. I was like, oh, maybe I could watch that. And it turns out they did watch Free Guy. We were kind of like talking about Sharknado and stuff. They didn't give me any movie recommendations, which is good, because I want to finish rewatching seasons 3, 4, and 5 of Fringe. So I finished season 2 either yesterday or Friday. And I want to finish rewatching that, and then rewatch season 1 of the Netflix The Last Airbender before season 2 comes out next week. I've seen that trailer at least 4 times, and I get goosebumps every single time I watch it. And I should not have gotten rid of Thunderbolt. And that's okay. I don't know exactly like what I'll watch after that. I was thinking about asking off for July or June 15th, 25th, which is that to binge watch season 2 of The Last Airbender. So I did that like a few years back with before, when I didn't have this current job and I had my past job. I had asked off for whatever day Pokemon Card Discovery 3 went on Netflix. And instead of like going to bed and then watching it, I just stayed up like the entire, I think it went on Netflix like 10, I don't know, like 1 or 2 a.m. I just stayed up and then watched it. But like, I remember crying when Javi lost his arm and Echo came back and like all that stuff that happened. And I think I rewatched that season twice because it's easy, like a one-day binge. 10 episodes, 20 minutes each. I wish they were longer episodes, and I think they wanted to do like longer season, but Netflix stopped them. And it was still, I want to do something like that with The Last Airbender. I don't remember how long season 1 was, like episode wise. And I think the episodes were like at least like 45 for like 50 minutes long or something like that. Probably longer. And like I want to be prepped. I also could like just stay up. Actually, I'm just gonna look and see how long the first season was. Oh, he did something. Okay, so this is off topic of the Power Rangers stuff. Or Last Airbender. I had watched this thing on YouTube from the History Channel where they had 3 different like things about Abraham Lincoln. Apparently, that's the stuff that went on Netflix the other day. So like, I already watched all of that stuff. Returned June 25th. 8 episodes. Longest one, 1 hour and 3 minutes and 48, 52, 55, 52, 56, 47. So yeah, roughly about 47 minutes to an hour each. So if they do 8 episodes, it's like an 8. Oh, I would have to do like not stay up and like watch the thing. I'm gonna do like just ask off for that day, wake up early and just binge watch the entire season. Because then I will actually be able to watch it without getting tired. I must have started. And something that I was thinking about. There's also probably gonna next year, 2027, when Winds and Waves comes out. I'm like, well, I mean, it will probably change when it gets closer. But whenever they get released, like that day they get released, I might ask off for that day and just do like a long stream of that and see like how that works. This thing is confuses me. This gym is like the puzzle. It always takes me the longest. Out of every other gym, in like every region, this is the one that takes me the longest. Always. I feel like I also need to get caught up on 911 and Lone Star because I just or not Lone Star but Nashville because I have not watched anything in Nashville. And I heard they get in season 2 and 911 I haven't watched since the episode before Bobby died, so like last season. I heard they're getting another season and Buck is, from what I've seen, Buck is fostering technically his biological son, because he was a sperm donor for his friend, and the friends got in a car accident and passed away, and the son survived. So he's taking care of the son. I don't know if that's actually gonna, like, he's gonna eventually be like, hey, you're my son, and go from there. I don't know. I also just don't know if I want to watch Bobby die. That's you're there since season 1. Like, why'd you kill him off? I get it's to show like not every like first responder like makes it out. Just people have said it doesn't feel the same and the ratings have dropped since you left. Go down and get those two. I also have to get the ones on the top there. Usually pretty good at these like puzzle fights. But I feel like every time I've played like this region, I've always had to look up how to do this puzzle. I'm sorry, I just realized there's somebody I was talking to that I never looked to see if they responded to this. Pack again. I was gonna go with soda to drink or like some sort of energy thing, but I do work tomorrow on Memorial Day, and I want to get up. Well, I mean, I don't have to like get up early. I'm just going up, getting up to my alarm. I do have enough time to see the parade and still make it to work on time. So I just have to walk up like a block from where I live, and there's the parade route. Luckily. And I want to be able to see the parade and have energy to mow my lawn after. I'm pointing to my something on my thing on my screen, like you guys can see what I'm pointing to. But it helps me like picture it better. Mixers, water brown, weak against Clyde, weak against grass. We don't have any grass. Can you be weak against slime? Well, maybe. Does anybody have something here? So nobody's like super effective. I feel like I was gonna say Clodsire, that's a different generation. Quakesire. I feel like he's either defensive or special defensive. I wanna say defensive. So we can find a special attacker. Ooh, I wanna save. I could set up... Dude, I could set up Stealth Rock, Swords Dance, Rain Dance. I'm gonna do Charlie. Because I can have D-Dance. Fight. See if that helps yourself. He only has one Pokemon. Ah. Ooh, I didn't share this the last time. So my M&M thing actually has M&Ms in it now. Mini M&Ms. I still have my Pokemon Goldfish crackers, which are right here. I have that much left. Oh. You might. The team numbers remind me of the team, or the levels reminds me of my Scarlet team. How it's like the starter's like the highest level. Can get to that. I just need to get here. That's that one. That works. How did it get there? Here. I want to. Here on the other side. I have to go here. Here. No, I just have to get to the stairs. To cook that service. There we go. We did it! It only took us like forever to do that. Save. I want to actually look at my team. Oh. There we go. I'm gonna multitask here. You're waiting for someone tough. Seven. semi-multitasking here. Trying to do a post. I'm gonna switch it to Sammy and just set up rocks. No, I like that. Well, I could also then switch to Zero and set up Rain. Set up Stealth Wrestling. I'm gonna use swords. I'm trying to focus on the battle, but also trying to think of things to say other than just battles. Sitting. I could sit, move out. Gyarados knows fire. Yeah, because we're what level 4? We're over level for this. Like that. Which also reminds me of my Scarlet playthrough, because I like did the whole stuff out of it. I don't know if when I do my monotype challenges for Violet, if I want to do the stuff, the battles in order, if I want to do them out of order based on the typing I go with, or like what I'll do. Decided. I also never really decided, like, I mean, I did kind of decide what typing I was gonna go with for my next monotype challenge. It was the first one for Violet. At the same time, I want to like change it up and use something else. I'll not really change it up because this, what we're doing right now, is my first monotype challenge. So anything after it would be different. Although I did tell myself, I was thinking originally to do water, and I would have another Gyarados on the team. I could do like Wilk Trio, and try to mix in some Gen 9 Pokemon other than like Wilk Trio in there. Patsugiri. I could also do Dark type and choose Sprigatito and like Meowscarada, because Meowscarada is eventually Dark type, because I think there's like low kicks. Honestly, that's like the only one that really stood out to me besides Meowscarada on the team. And I mean, there's Ghost, Fire, Water, Dark. So if I go also based on the secondary typings of the starters in Paldea, you have the basic water, fire, water, but then you also have fighting, dark, and ghost. And I feel like whatever one we do, it will be a different team than this, because I don't think Actually, I think most of these Pokemon, with the exception of Piplup, would be in Bidoof, found in that game. I don't know, it's something to decide later on. This is special. It's still gonna be. What? Plus it's ultimate. Let's go. Ooh. Okay. I think this is also might be the first time I've beaten like this puzzle without needing the walkthrough and how to like clear it out. Maybe you can use rock climb stickers. Is it gonna be icy wind? Avalanche. Oh. Yeah, I want to see what things we have here before I go. So we have bubbles. Wait. I don't want pink. Let's see what it looks like when you toss somebody up. That is cool. I want more bubbles. I want to save, and then and when we do the Elite Four, I think we'll have stickers on everybody, or at least our lead. Pokemon, it's not here. Alright, we're gonna heal up and then continue on to challenge.